So since my voice is still dreadful, in fact the last 2 days I've had no voice, I've been whispering, I'm going to reach into some old footage and show you how I installed this plinth in our utility kitchen late last year. So keep on watching and I'll show you how I did it. First, just a quick recap that this is how they look now after I'd redone the end panels, but this is how my end panels looked back in 2018. So I wanted to cover up this gap at the bottom. I'm just using offcuts from our very first kitchen build, and they're actually too deep at the minute. And I'm measuring the length of the longest bit that I needed first. And before cutting, got my sawhorses out, masking tape roughly where I knew it needed cutting down, and this meant it was easier to mark and it would prevent chipping. Once I'd clamped it down, I cut with a handsaw. Then, because I knew they were too deep, I needed to measure the height of this gap, and I took off about an extra 3mm as well. So it'd be a bit easier to slot on and off and accommodate any expansion. So back with the masking tape again, and I'm transferring that measurement intermittently. And drawing a straight line using something straight. Always a spirit level in my case. The other thing that I need to point out is it's MDF, which is bad for the lungs if you're cutting it, so always use a face mask. And if you can cut it outside, that's even better. I must admit though, I did get bored of the handsaw on this bit, so I ended up using a jigsaw to finish it off. So now I knew it fitted okay. I needed to lay it flat, but still position it where I wanted it, and mark with a pencil dead centre of where the legs lied. Also note that the raw edge is facing upwards, so if I make any spills on the floor, it shouldn't affect it. Then using a rufus square, I'm just drawing a straight line where those marks are, so I knew where to screw my leg clips. These clips actually came with the kitchen units, and I must admit they're not the best. I'm not sure any plastic ones are, and if I could be bothered to get some metal ones then I would, because I find these ones break. So I lined up the mount clip part and just marked where the screw holes need to be. And because my drill bit was a bit long, I drilled it through a scrap piece of wood and then directly through the screw hole marks, so I didn't accidentally drill straight through it. And then the hook parts just slide on.
Come on, yay! Yeah!
The other thing that I like about them sliding is that you can push them to the side to make sure it meets the end panel. And this is when I realised I should have taken the blue film off before I fixed it on, but you live and learn.
Ah, that's better. Okay, be careful because I've already chipped one, so I need to replace it with a spare that I've got.
Then once my main piece was done, I measured the width of this last bit that ran up to the washing machine. And to cut this one down, I had to make sure I had a finished end on the far right and the raw edge right next to the other plinth. So yeah, I was really happy with this result. Just need to get round to adjusting and straightening up the cupboard doors. So let me know in the comments below if you do anything differently, but it's great to say that I've caught up with everything so far that you've seen, and then I'll be moving on to talking about the aircon, painting and any patch-ups that I've got to do. Right, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Come on. I haven't fallen out yet, I just can't talk.